Disney movies?
That Road.
That Road?
All right, well, we're going to move on because I can't think of this movie.
And I think it was so important because in 89, before this rush of superhero movies, like they took a character that everyone knows and everyone has a respect for. Like, not respect, I don't know if that's the right word, but like, you know Batman. You grow up when you're a kid, like you put on bat ears and like a cape and run around your backyard. Like Batman is ingrained in us as a culture.
Well, I think that's why DC's. I don't think they need to do now an
origin stories.
Story.
Yeah, we know.
They
Your
need to
parents
get
died.
rid of
We
origin.
get it. Ugh.
Origin stories need to be gone. I really think. I'm not saying they're bad, but let's be honest. We're adults.
Yeah,
I don't need to know every little detail of their origin. That's why Green Lantern sucked.
I think it's more than just that, but...
Well, yeah, there was a lot more to the Green Lantern of why it stunk, but I don't need an origin story for every single hero. Spider-Man doesn't need an origin story anymore, and this one doesn't need to be an origin story. Just make it make it a Spider-Man movie. I don't care.
I think the thing why the comic movies are so relatable now, it's just because you can see yourself being... Because it's a factual reality almost.
Yeah.
It's a fact-based reality, even though it's really not. It's in another dimension, but you can be like, oh, this is Earth.
Another dimension, another dimension, another dimension. That's a
Is that a
Beastie Boys?
reference?
I think it's a Beastie Boys song.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, well,
ADD.
cool. That's good to know.
Sorry.
No, but like... No.
Dynamite drop it.
No, I just think they're so relatable because you can actually like see like, oh, that is New York City that they are shooting this in, or wherever. Because I've seen pictures of that place, so it's relatable in some way.
Yeah,
so
but DC will always have that problem with Metropolis and Gotham. They will never have that.
Well, I even like with the new Batman, like it was semi relatable because it's not like Tim Burton's reality of Batman.
That's very true.
It's not like there's all this gothic like architecture all over the place and just weird shit, and then you would never think that would be an actual factual reality that you live in.
Totally. The second head on my Mount Rushmore would probably be Tony Stark from 2008's Iron Man. Like I remember going to see that movie and not having a ton of expectations. So as a kid growing up reading comic books, of course I knew who Iron Man was. And I remember going with a group of friends. Nick, you were one of them. We went to go see it. And I
Nick doesn't remember that, do you?
Nick's like,
he's
really
like,
drunk.
that was really weird. Bro
but
remembers going to the movie with me.
But I remember going to see that movie and like having to explain to everyone like, so who is Iron Man? And it's like he's like Batman. He's like a rich guy who becomes. I was like, yeah, kind of, I guess. But that was like sort of
but that was like his origin movie, if you think about it.
Yeah, and like before that movie, Iron Man was not like some character that was like on the consciousness of like America or the world in general. Like,
at all.
It was just like a second tier character.
Well, I don't even think I think that's why Marvel has stepped their game up.
Yeah.
So far surpassing DC, even with the newest release of Superman vs. Batman. Like it was all right, but it was like it was not what it should have been.
I'm such a fanboy of DC that I defend that movie to
I
no
think,
end.
yeah, that's the one thing I absolutely love.
I loved Batman vs.
Love
Superman.
that
You
Batman.
did?
And I'm a very hard critic.
Do you hear me?
of
Do you hear me,
superheroes.
Internet? I loved
it
Batman
too.
vs.
I'll
Superman.
back you up there. I thought it was a great movie. I think people went in there with
think
their
they're-
minds already made up before
well,
that
I think
movie
because they're so
came
used
out.
to like Marvel and so used to how these superhero movies are today, and then they go to see that movie and they're like, well, that wasn't what I expected.
Yeah, that
it to
wasn't
be.
Avengers.
Yeah,
and they already had their minds made up, and all the critics came out and just destroyed it. And it really,
I went and saw the
really
movie,
was
so-
amazing. It
No,
really,
I thought
and
there
I
was
wish,
good parts to the movie, but I thought
and I respect
some
that.
some parts of the movie were just overblown. It was like, why is he so he made up his mind now? Like, spoiler alert, that our moms have the same names
Everybody,
now,
yeah.
and it's like, no, I'm gonna go save the Earth,
But
and
see,
I'm
I
gonna go save Superman next. So our moms are the same.
But
Yes!
see, I
I
respect
have
you
a hard
because
time
you,
arguing against that.
you actually went out to see it with an open mind, but so many people either refuse to see it or go see it with their minds made up, and I think that's the problem with Batman versus Superman.
It has value. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like what?
So,
But I think you're leaving out. I think X2. I mean, X2
was gonna-
came
yeah.
out way before.
That X-Men.
How amazing
X-Men,
is X1 and X2? X2 is way better, but X2 was such an amazing movie. But I think people forget that trilogy. The third one's horrific. But
Who do you put
did
on?
you not like the first one at all?
I thought the first one was okay. I thought there was a lot of
Another- it's another
Sabretooth
or-
wasn't as
yeah.
exciting in that.
It's another origin a little bit.
It was good, but I think X2 blew it out of the water.
So if you had to pick a character from X2 to put on the Mount Rushmore of
Patrick
video,
Stewart
fucking
Stewart,
all the way.
Star
man.
Trek over here.
Yeah.
For real?
I would say
my boy.
I would say Wolverine, man.
Yeah.
I'm tired of everybody's fascination of Wolverine.
Dude, Logan is about to be kick ass.
I'm not gonna deny that. I think Logan's gonna be amazing.
It's fucking rated R.
Rated R.
Bleep, bloop. No more
yeah,
bleeps.
but wait till Power Rangers blows out of water.
You were bleeping cuss words?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. You said fucking bleep, bleep.
In case you guys didn't know what rated R meant, it bleeps that he's bleeping out.
So okay, yeah. So I can definitely get down with that. I think so. Okay, so in our Mount Rushmore so far, well, let's just come up with a consensus then. Do you guys agree with Batman '89, Michael Keaton being on the Mount Rushmore? It seems like you guys are a little...
That's a tough one for me.
Do you guys people think Blade... Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I like Bale a lot, even though the voice that he made when he was Batman was pretty annoying after. Where is he? Where is he? Where are the drugs? Yeah.
Well, I would say if you, obviously Nolan's Batman. Yeah.
So like, there's a really funny like college humor with Pete Holmes, and he plays Batman, and that is like the absolutely most hilarious version of Batman I've ever seen. So he would be up on Mount Rushmore for me, just based off of that, because it's just hilarious.
Shout out to Pete Holmes.
we saying... I mean, we're only doing movies because Kevin Conroy is the number one, right? We all agree with that?
For sure. Like, not even close. Yeah, absolutely.
For Batman?
Yeah, best Batman.
Which one was that?
Kevin Conroy's animated series.
Animated series. Oh, yeah. That's what you grew up on. That's what you know.
For sure.
Now, what do you think people remember Blade and think that as a comic books movie?
I wouldn't put it on the Rushmore.
I'm not saying put on the Rushmore, but that came out before all of that. It was 90s, right?
I think you brought that up earlier, Blev. You said...
I just think Judge Dredd and Blade and all those type of movies, you don't really know that... You don't... Like, unless you're a comic book nerd or just comic book connoisseur... Yeah. You wouldn't know that those are comic books at all.
You just think these are intense movies.
These are intense movies. These are action-packed movies, and they're being brought out. Because, like, even, like... I had no idea those were fucking comic book movies at all. Like, I didn't even know Blade was a comic book at all after I saw it, and I was like, oh, it's a comic book movie? Like, what? Yeah. I didn't even say that in that way or that structure of calling it a comic book movie. But I would not even know that was relatable at all.
Do you guys actually like this guy? I thought Nick Frost was a fantastic bad guy.
Oh, yeah. No, I love...
The first Blade was baller as hell.
The third one was forgettable. Triple H was in it.
I did like Ryan Reynolds in the third one. I liked him a lot.
Hannibal King?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was funny.
So you brought up Christian Bale, and I would argue that, I mean, obviously on this Mount Rushmore, like, we have to acknowledge Nolan's movies, but I would put the Joker on the Mount Rushmore before I would put Christian Bale. You know what I mean?
What I would say is that Christian Bale brought to life the character of Batman from being like an entrepreneurial and like a rich person, and I feel like Keaton did a good portrayal of just being a person and dealing with Batman and understanding the responsibilities of Batman and not bring other people into that life or that lifestyle.
Preach. That was great. Yeah,
I mean, I think you got a good stand. I don't know who you'd make as a fourth. Do you have a fourth one in mind?
Well, so this is where, and I feel like I'm only saying this because it's timely, but I really did like Deadpool, the movie.
Oh, dude, Deadpool has set a new trend for comic movies, which they should have started
on the Rushmore, though.
Yeah, just because...
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be there eventually.
I just think, like, it did such a good job of, like, being the first, like... Maybe you could argue Kick-Ass, but, like, I think Deadpool was meta.
Again,
like, it was...
I didn't know Kick-Ass was a comic book at all. And I'm saying...
That's true.
So you would not put two and two together, because it's, like, it's made by a small publisher. It's not made by, like, some giant publisher.
There's so many... Like, Road to Perdition?
That's like a comic book. 300's
a comic book, you're right.
It's like a fucking...
Sin
I didn't
City.
know that. Yeah, and all those. You don't equate that. And
Watchmen.
But you know when someone says Spider-Man, you know who that is.
Yeah.
Just inherently you know that. Even Batman. So like you hear these things, those are comic books, Iron Man, Thor. You hear these words and you know what they mean.
We feel like we own those characters.
So are you saying Reeves is off the table?
I never got in.
I mean, if you're going to do Mount Rushmore, are we saying he's off the table? Because there's no such thing as a good Superman movie. I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't even think he was that good of a Superman. I just don't believe that he was that good of a Superman.
I have a hard time
because he's the only Superman that you know of. Like
that was consistent.
You think of. Oh, boom, he's in your mind. So now he's on the Mount Rushmore because he just played Superman really well.
But Tom Welling was great.
Okay, we're back to Smallville, and this is ridiculous.
Wasn't there another Superman TV show?
What was his name? The Ripley's Believe It or Not
Clark
guy.
Kent, Clark and Lois and Clark.
Yeah, Lois and Clark, dude.
Ripley's Believe.
Dean Cain.
Dean Cain.
I used to watch that show back in the day. That's so crazy.
Kane.
Dean Cain is on our Mount Rushmore for sure.
Oh my god!
He's only famous for Ripley's Believe It or Not, right?
He's famous for Lois and Clark. I think
Lois
that was
and
a
Clark.
pretty
He has to
famous
be.
show.
There's no other way.
I know, but you ask anybody nowadays.
Right now, yeah, probably Ripley's.
He went
Believe It or
from
Not.
Lois and Clark to being like tonight on Ripley's Believe It or Not, the man with the largest testicle living in India. Like
He used to say
I gotta watch
damsels.
this,
Now
yeah.
he's measuring testes.
yeah, well,
That's a one.
that's his LinkedIn profile.
That's his intro.
So wait, well, who's the fourth then?
So where are we right now? Can we recap real quick? So we've
You
got.
said Michael Keaton is one.
All right,
Tony
if you guys
Stark's
are-
two.
Are you guys okay with Michael Keaton? Like if we're doing
See,
a
I
consensus?
don't. I'd rather say.
And you said the Joker after that.
I would rather put Tony Stark in front of Michael Keaton.
Are we ranking these four? These four?
Ooh.
I think that's a whole nother. This is
So
going to be
this is okay.
30-hour
podcast.
podcast.
Let's not rank them currently.
Yeah, let's not rank them.
Dang, we are hitting some volumes right now. So I don't know if it's.
Yeah, well,
Is it too high? I think it's. Are we too high with the mics right now? Or
yeah,
is-
we might maybe just lower this a hair because we're just kind of. Yeah, bear with us, guys. You're seeing how the sausage gets made here on the Hold On to Your Butts podcast.
You'll see it soon.
All right,
Our sausages?
there we.
Whoa! Why always wants to talk about a sausage and seeing one?
So okay, I think where we're at right now, we've got Heath Ledger, the Joker.
So these are not in ranking order
No.
by any means.
No,
So.
and I
Tony
would say
Stark.
honestly, I would say yeah, Tony Stark. I think we agree. I want to push for Michael Keaton 89, but if you guys are against it,
What do
then
you? Okay, why it's gonna be no? Is it Nick?
Nick tiebreaker.
Nick tiebreaker. Call it. Michael Keaton. Who's?
Are you? And you're advocating Christian Bale?
It's between who?
Oh, no. I would say it's between either Tony Stark or Batman. Michael Keaton.
I thought we had both
I
of
think
them
we
on
could have
there.
room for both of them.
Both of them.
But
Unless you can come up with a fifth.
you think, Nick, do
because
you
we
think
don't even
Michael
have
Keaton-
four
Wait,
right now.
how many people are on
He
Mount
has to be
Rushmore,
on.
by the way? 4?
Shit,
Only
we should
4?
know this stuff, don't we?
Wow, I'm not American now. Get him out of here. He's an immigrant.
It's 4.
Put him over the wall.
All right, well, that's
Jeez.
good.
No, okay.
oh boy.
Everyone doesn't know what to do now.
Okay, so Batman 89,
Yes.
Yes.
Tony Stark.
Okay.
So you're saying
Heath
he's
Ledger.
got to be on there?
Keaton, yeah.
Heath Ledger has to be on there.
Are we being too silly saying Ryan Reynolds Deadpool?
I think it's too
I don't
soon.
honestly
It's
no.
too
I
soon.
don't believe that, dude. His acting ability in that movie.
What is he? I'm not
sets
saying
him
he didn't
apart
do a
and
fantastic job.
Brings Deadpool to life, to a T.
He totally did a fantastic job, fantastic movie. But did he revolutionize anything? And I think that's what we're trying to say. Michael
Yeah,
Keaton was the Batman.
No, but he did. He's bringing rated R movies to comic book movies. That revolutionized the game.
Wasn't
right
we
then
probably
and
wouldn't have Logan if it
At
wasn't
all.
for Deadpool.
At
That's
all.
for sure.
Actually,
were the original Batmans, any of those rated R?
no,
Nope.
not at all.
That would be sweet.
There was
though.
no-
An R-rated Batman movie would
Blade
be
was rated R.
fantastic. Yeah, that was.
Are you sure?
Yeah, first Blade.
Nobody
was
knows a comic book movie, so that's not ever hard to be.
Okay. Final
don't
answer.
even know how to
Here we go.
respond
We've
to
got.
that.
Let's just say it. We're cutting it. This is it.
I'll agree with
Batman
that.
89, Tony Stark
Yeah.
08, Heath Ledger the Joker 08,
Deadpool.
Deadpool
Sorry,
16.
Wyatt. Boom.
I didn't. Why are you guys saying sorry, man?
Wait a second. Wait. Oh, you know who we forgot? You did bring up X-Men.
Who are we gonna say?
Stuart.
No.
Or
sorry.
X2.
X2.
You're gonna put Wolverine.
The only
Cyclops.
person-
Wolverine was not a big
Cyclops?
deal.
James Marsden.
James
No,
Marsden looking like a fool getting played.
Cyclops was such an underrated
Such
character
a
in
wuss
the
in
movies.
that
Yeah.
damn movie.
Well, they ruined him. They ruined him in those movies.
Can't see anything with my glasses.
All right. So I'm
That's
glad
exactly
we got.
how he sounds too.
I'm glad.
When
When I read those comics,
Wait,
that's
can
what I
we
think
get
in
that
my head.
Cyclops? Can we get that Cyclops impression one more time?
I can't see anything without these glasses.
It's pretty solid. That's exactly how I used to read his voice in the comics. Cool. So I'm glad we got that settled, guys. I wanted to just move on here. Wyatt, what did you?
So what we were talking about before. Hold on a second. We were talking about like. So we were talking about like what are you watching currently, right? And then we got on the subject of comic movies,
Reboots and comic movies.
So
yeah.
like, have you guys strictly stayed with actual cable, or are you guys actually streaming now?
No, mostly, and that's what's so weird is like I'm definitely streaming, but like I had to watch 24, so I'm kind of watching that on Hulu. So I'm still like cutting the cord and stuff. But
I'm
both.
fully cut. I don't have any cable at all. I watch through. If I want to watch cable, I watch Sling TV, or if I want to watch anything else, I watch through Netflix or Amazon.
is it glorious?
it's cool because it's like I don't feel the need to like be by a TV at all by any means. I don't care to be.
Get your TV in your pocket.
I maybe watch per week. Maybe watch TV. Maybe like 4 to 6 hours.
I watch so much more TV than that.
Yeah, I don't watch.
I watch TV.
And that's about it.
I watch very little TV.
Really?
I'm excited for a lot of shows that are coming up.